All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kahakurash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you, brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word, the truth, and sincerity. And Shalom to you, believers out there, the Akim wa Akwa. So, what you see, I have put up here is Tucker Carlson. Our airspace is being invaded. And as you can tell by the banner, I titled this video, Chariots of Yahawah, Yasharahla Air Force, man. And this is our Air Force. This is our army. And the Lord's army is going to come down and take these devils out of power. Okay? So, because the thing about it is, I ain't going to lie. Like, on my news break app, I've been getting a lot of so-called UFO or so-called UAP articles just coming in. As you can see here, just 17 hours ago, North Carolina man recounts UFO sighting that left him with the feeling. Let's get into this. All right, North Carolina man recounts UFO sighting that left him with a feeling of dread. Felt like there was a higher power. All right, and that's the thing. Let's get into this article real quick. They say a witness has recounted how an unknown object, which he believes was a UFO, flying over his trailer park left him terrified. And that's what's going to happen to people who's not in the know. But you know who really shook? Esau. The higher up Esau, Edom, because they understand what's going on. All right. The everyday Joe six-pack, he don't really understand what's going on. Okay. All right, excuse me. But as well as many of our people don't understand what's going on in the rest of these heathen nations, they don't understand that the so-called UFOs are the chariots of Yahawah Shem Yahushua, man. Okay. Continuing on in the article, the resident of North Carolina said the incident left him fearful for his life. And see, when we see the chariots, we praise the Lord. You hear countless videos of brothers, even sisters, seeing the chariots, and they praise Yahawah Bahashem Yahushua. All right there on the spot. So let's go back. I just wanted to get that. That was 17 hours ago, so that's recent. Let's go back. There we go. Let's get into this. India scrambles fighter jets to investigate UFO sighting as airport halts flights. Oh wow, what is this off of Independent? I don't want to get copyright. I will let the video play. Fair use only. This is only for educational purposes. This is not for monetary purposes. I don't make any money off any videos that might play. All right, just want to throw that out. It says India Air Force scrambled 2 fighter jets on Sunday to investigate the sighting of an unidentified flying object near an airport. An alert was issued by security forces after the UFO sighting was reported from the northeastern state of Manipur at about 2:30 p.m. local time. All right, so the chariots, they everywhere, man. And so let's go here. Now, you notice, I'll type in the most UFO around the world. All right. As you notice, this is the famous picture. Brothers. It's just, I don't know, get off track. So you see the picture and you see what's lit up. All right. And it's lit up right. This is the United Kingdom. And this is, of course, Babylon the Great, aka America, man. And that's why America is never going to be inhabited again. You see where all the most sightings at. This from 1906 to 2014. And best believe the picture ain't changed much. So here's another, where was that other one I seen? This is another one. You notice UK. And I think that's where the Rothschilds reside, in the UK. I mean, they got places all over, but their base is in the UK. You notice Esau Edom, Western civilization, get the most sightings. Why is that? Because the Lord is got a right. He got a man. He got a bone to pick with you Esau Edomites, you so-called white people. Let's put it in plain. Look, here go another. All the sightings go from states to United Kingdom, basically over here. Western. So this is considered Western civilization right here. When you hear of Western civilization, it's right here. And as you know, America was birthed from Britain. All right. So now, because the thing about it, now as great as of a work as the Lord did concerning Egypt when he got us up out of Egypt and part the Red Sea and drowned the Pharaoh's army. Well, check this out. Jeremiah 16:14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So with that miraculous, that great work, something is going to outshine that. What could it be? Verse 15, but the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. All right. And when you go here, this is the land of the north, North America. All right. From the land of the north. Oh, so like, did I even go back to the, I forgot on this one. This is the land of the north. We're in North America. All right. You got Canada, Babylon the Great. So it said, it's no more going to be talked about how we came up out of Egypt, but how the Lord liveth, that brought the children of Israel from the land of the north. Okay. And from all the lands whither he have driven them. And the Israelites, okay, was scattered all over the planet. You got Israelites all over, not just here. It's a lot of us here, but it's some in United Kingdom, Africa, of course, just the Americas, period. You know, that's the triangle slave trade. But even going in, Australia, Africa, all over. We've been scattered all over the four winds, man. That was a part of our punishment. Okay. And from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into the land that I gave unto their fathers. All right. So that's a cut on 1948. That's a cut on the people in the land right now, because when the people come in the land, and there's many cuts on them, that's that's a whole nother lesson. But the Lord is going to bring us into our land, not no Edomites, not no white man, not the Rothschilds, not the Balfour Declaration. That's folly. All right. That's why it's so much destruction and chaos over there, because the real people is not in that land. But continuing on in the subject. So what would be able to bring us, how would the Lord bring us, all right, into our land? It's through the so-called UFOs, those chariots. The Lord is going to swoop us up, the elect. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. He's going to swoop, but somebody's getting swooped up. The elect is going to get beamed up in those chariots, getting saved from the destruction, and going back to the land. All right. So now I want to get some of this tuck across the video. The spirit too, something happened on redacted. Let me see. Play that. Yeah, I'm gonna play that later. So
since the government has evidence that we're not alone in the universe, that there is some form of intelligent life or something that is creating these crafts. They're buzzing the earth. We don't know if they're from outer space, if they're spiritual beings. I mean, we just don't know the answer. But the government does know, but they're lying about it because why? And so does it occur that maybe the billions of unaccounted Pentagon funds that you mentioned that turn up in every accounting process, that maybe that they're not lost through incompetence? Maybe those are attached to programs that we're not allowed to know about.
I completely think it's intentional, Tucker. You're exactly right, as usual. They've been lying about it since 1947. And then all of a sudden, we're going to pass legislation and they're going to say, oh, well, we're going to come out and tell you the truth. I mean, this, Schumer's thing, everybody's on me because I'm not really sure about the Schumer amendment, because it basically is modeled after the Kennedy assassination files. And here we are 60 years later, and we haven't done that. I guess it's a good step forward. But the reality is, we're going to tell them to tell us the truth after they've been lying to us, and they've been funding these programs. Lou Elizondo, for instance, is a program that he was involved with for the longest period of time. They said it didn't exist, yet he shows up and he's got a department that works for him. And so, this thing has just been going on, like I said, at least since 1947. And we know it's been going on maybe before then at some point. It's a worldwide phenomena. We have some of the best pilots, not in East Tennessee, the best pilots in the world, that are telling me their crafts have been buzzed by this. And I've had members of Congress say, Burchett, we need to be on something important. Well, let me ask you, what's more important than something in our airspace buzzing $50-60 million aircraft, putting American pilots at risk? And that
putting $50-60 million aircraft buzzing. Esau shook. He can't do nothing with it. Our Air Force. We had the first Air Force. We got the most powerful Air Force. Yahawah through the power and spirit of Yahawah, man. We got the most power. Yasharahla, all right, the Israelites. No, the Americans, the Russians, the Indians, Chinese, they can't compete, all right, with our Air Force.
We don't know who it is or what it is. And then we have a government that claims they don't exist. And now all of a sudden, people like yourself have brought this issue to the forefront. Over half the American public believes that they're out there. And now the Pentagon smells dollars, is what I think it is. That's why they're putting all this out. And each department, NASA and everybody else, has their little pamphlets out now of NASA's. I think it said something about we want to do robust research. Well, you know what robust research means. They want more of your tax dollars. I just want them to come forward with the truthful information that they've been hiding from us for decades.
Well, guess what? Your people is nothing but liars, man. The scriptures talk about that. Let me see something. Let's see. There's so many scriptures on Esau being a liar. One that first comes to mind is this. It says, wait, is that 34? Let's talk about the forging a liar. There's so many that's coming to mind. Let's see. Job 13. But ye are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value. All right. So the Edomite man, he is a forger of lies. All right. Now, really what I had in mind, let me see something. And it might come up too many times. Oh, that song's 52. That's what I really want. Psalms 52:2. It says, thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor. All right. Working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Salah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. And we know, why do you got to research truth? The Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. And that's what's going to happen to the Edomite. After 1,000 years of slavery, you will be destroyed forever. You're going to be uprooted. You're going to be grabbed by the root and took out of the planet Earth. Took out. Just go. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living. Salah. Esau, Edom is the only one that's going to be destroyed. You know, you have these Arabs, these Chinese, all of them, they're going to be able to, you know, dwell and benefit from an Israelite rulership. Meanwhile, Esau, you're done. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you either. But thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. Esau, Edom. You got to research truth. Just think about it. He lied about his identity. He lied about everybody else's identity. He stole our identity. He steal everything, lie about everything, cover up history. You got to, even if you want to get a good book on history and you look it up, the book be like $1,700, $2,000. He set the bar high. So, because he already know, like, especially when it's concerning us, you know, if he want to hide it, he like, all right, look, I'm going to set it at $1,500. What nigga going to pay a book? What nigga going to pay $1,500 for a book? He already know that. The average Jake ain't going to do that. So this man, even from his own people, even to his own people, matter of fact, let me see if I can word this right. It's, yep. No, I spelled that wrong. I can't spell right now. I think it's with the E. Yeah. Yep, Jeremiah 16, verse 19, it says, O Lord, my strength, my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. So Tucker Carlson, this guy, they have inherited lies, vanity, all right? Things wherein there is no profit, man. That's why they believe that America is going to continue. They believe that the UFO, they probably believe, you know, it's little green men steering those crafts. But we know it's the angels. All right, those are our brothers, melanated beings. And I got a video. It's many. I did a lesson on this some months ago, but I'm gonna play this little video after this. So let's continue on.
Decades.
Do we possess this technology or don't we? And if we do, where is it? And there have been, as noted earlier, a number of pretty ominous indications over the years from apparently informed people that the U.S. government has been in direct contact with these forces, whatever they are, the people who created and flew these objects, whatever they are, dialogue between the U.S. government, maybe other governments, and these entities. Are you aware of that? Has anyone even asked that question to, say, the President of the United States or someone else who could answer it?
I'm aware of it, and I've talked to people about it, but it's just another rabbit hole I go down. And I have to be real careful, Tucker, to be honest with you, because you would not believe the amount of research and things I've gotten poured on me from all over the world. People send me books and photographs and things. And of course, a lot of that is, I think it's fake because they're trying to get me to embarrass me further, I guess, in this issue. But
it's another rabbit hole again. Lies, deception. That's what happens when you're dealing with the Edomite. All right. You're going to get a lot of lies and deceptions before you can hit the ground on some truth and start to see some truth. But we know what it is. So now I want to just segue, because you see the video, you brothers and sisters, you can watch it on your own time. All right. So now I want to segue to this video. And this is by the brother Yasharahla for the elect. So let's play this.
shaped ships were over a mile in length. One of them landed on the airport landing strip area. When it touched the ground, it created an earthquake like about a 3.5 to 4.0. It terrified everybody in the area. The back of this craft opened up, and several hundred young men with huge, heavy weapons came out of two sides of the ship and formed a protection line around the ship. And the people at that Air Force base, the commander, had a meeting with the individuals that were aboard this ship. And this particular race that landed those ships and that are seen in these huge cigar-shaped ships, they are a black race. They look like African Americans. They were about 6'4", 6'5".
You hear? They look like black people, all right, which they are melanated beings. Those are our brothers, man. And they coming to get us. Lord willing, I'll be a part of that number on YouTube. But they coming to get us. That's why I read Jeremiah 16, 14, and 15 verse.
These race. They look like African Americans. They were about 6'4", 6'5". These tight-fitting black leather outfits on, and the weapons that they came out of the ships with, they were huge weapons. And if you've ever seen a race of people that were conquerors, that had never been conquered, they've got this look about them. That is exactly what these extraterrestrials had, and they informed these people at the.
You see, they had a look of arrogance. They had a look of conquerors that never been conquered, man. That's because our brothers who steering them, they of a different, they of the heavens, man. They ain't worried about Esau, Edom. They ain't worried about the heathen nation. They weren't in slavery. They ain't worried about the things that we worried about. All right, and pretty soon, us brothers, we gonna have that look. We gonna have that look of arrogance and righteousness. We gonna have that. We're gonna be conquerors. We're gonna look like we've been undefeated. The Lord gonna put that in our spirit, man. Let's go.
And they informed these people at this American Air Force base that not only were they from a militaristic society, but they had controlled a large portion of the galaxy that we live in. And this was the statement that Ronald Reagan was making to the United Nations when he said that.
Now, before this continue, let's get this real quick. Jeremiah 4:13, it says, "Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariot shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles." See? Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. So whenever you get into these videos on the chariots, they talk about how they maneuver, how they just basically break the laws of physics because they come from the heavens, the chariots of Yahawah, man. Let's go back.
If all the countries on the planet realized that there was a threat from outer space and from an alien civilization, we would all come together, but he was not allowed to make this statement. What I tell you is true, and the gentleman that you had on before.
Forget how much unites all the members of humanity.
Look at that at the Washington Redskins game, man. Look at that. You see?
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide
Now I'm gonna play this whole video. I got this.
Vanish if we in
So people with dark skin getting off. Not dark, black. Black skin.
Really black.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what,
they say 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
These are, in fact, the Vatican's called them angels. What if these are, in fact, the Vatican's called them angels? What if these are, in fact, the Vatican's called them angels? What if these are truly God's chosen people? What if these are truly God's chosen people?
And you see, wait, when he said that, you see when he in his pride, you know, this guy's bringing out a point, which is true. Hold on, let's see. I'll pass on this, but he's bringing out a true point, and you see her, and you see Esau with that smirk, which the Lord is ready to go. He's gonna wipe that smirk off you Edomite's face, because y'all always walking around smirking with y'all red face, man. You always got something to laugh about. Well, let's get these scriptures. Let's get these scriptures. Isaiah 31, starting at verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men, and not the Most High, and their horses flesh. As you notice in Jeremiah 4:13, it said what? His horses are swifter than eagles. Okay. Let's see. And their horses flesh and not spirit. All right. Esau ain't on the level of Yasharahla Air Force. Not on the level of the chariots of Yahawah, man. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall fail together. Let's get that in a more plain term for edification in NLT. For these Egyptians are humans, not God. Their horses are puny flesh, not mighty spirits. When the Lord raises his fist against them, those who help will stumble, and those being helped will fall. They will all fall down and die together. All y'all gonna die together. That's why it said what? The Lord gonna have many crowns. Because he's not just taking down Esau, Edom. He's taking down the rest of you heathens. Matter of fact, let's get that. Revelation 19, starting at verse 1. Select. Revelation 19, starting at verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. That's speaking about Yahawah on that chariot. See them horses? It's the same horses. And in righteousness doeth he judge and make war. The Lord is a man of war. Exodus 15:3. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Why? Because going back, it says what? Both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is helped shall fall down, and they all shall fall together. All y'all gonna go down. You Arabs, you Chinese, you Japanese, the East Indians, all of you going down together. You Hamites, all of y'all that's in league with Esau, all of y'all, the kings of the earth that have drunken of the wine of the wrath of the fornication, have committed spiritual adultery with this hoe. All y'all going down together. Yahawah not gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna just get the white man. I'm gonna leave the China man alone." No, all y'all going down. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. So Yahawah had many crowns, because he's gonna take all y'all devils down. Verse 4, Isaiah 31:4. For thus hath the Lord spoken unto me, like as a lion and a young lion roaring on his prey. When a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he will not be afraid of their voice. Yeah, if you got a hungry lion and he about to go in for the kill, and you talking about, hey, get away. No, he ain't gonna worry. He might look up at you. And you better be careful. He might attack you. Okay? So he not worried. The Lord ain't worried about nothing. When the Heavenly Father give Yahawah that green light, he not gonna stop. It's not gonna be. You're not gonna be able to calm Yahawah down from conquering, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof. Right? He's coming to fight for us, man. That's why this is our Air Force. Now, it's Yahawah Bahashim Yahushua Air Force, but I'm saying it's Yasharahla Air Force. You know how United States, they got an Air Force? China got an Air Force. Japan, you know, all of these nations have an Air Force. Well, we got an Air Force too, and we got the biggest and baddest Air Force ever. Verse 5, as birds flying, see, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem, and we know Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Defend it also, he will deliver it, going back to Jeremiah 16, and passing over it, he will preserve it. Going back to Jeremiah 16, what the Lord is going to do, he's going to gather up Israel from the land of the north and from all the places where we were scattered. So again, as birds flying, so will he, the Lord of hosts, defend Jerusalem. And not talking about defending the people over there in that land. No, because somebody be like, see, it says Jerusalem. Somebody said that to me before. I had to laugh at him. No, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. That's why it's scriptures that refer to Jerusalem, and that's not talking about the land. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over it, he will preserve it. See, so the Lord is going to fight for Mount Zion, for Yasharahla, for the Israelites. You natives, you so-called Native Americans, you so-called Latinos, and you so-called Negroes. That's who the Lord coming to fight for. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, but we reading it right here. Now, we already got Revelation 19. Now, let's get this, because remember, it said what? Yahawah, it said that he was going to have many crowns, meaning he going to take a lot of nations up out of their place. Let's get it. And this is going to go back. This is going to tie in with the Ronald Reagan video. Second Esdras, the 13th chapter. Now, I'm going to read it in the GNT. The 7 days passed, starting at verse 1. The 7 days passed, and the following night I had a dream. And in my dream, I saw a wind coming up out of the sea and stirring up great waves. As I watched, the wind brought it out of the sea what looked like a man, and he was flying on clouds. See, there go those same clouds that was in Jeremiah 4, the 13th chapter. Let's go back there. I still got it up. So remember when it says, behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariot shall be as a whirlwind. Now jumping back to 2nd Esdras 13, what did it say? In verse 3, as I watched, the wind brought it up out of the sea what looked like a man, that's Yahawah, and he was flying on the clouds. When he turned his face, everything he looked at began to tremble. And when he spake, everyone who heard his voice melted like wax in a fire. And that's not when he literally starts talking. No, it's those chariots, those beams that come out of the chariots. Yeah. Verse 5, I looked again and saw a crowd too large to count. Now in the middle of World War III, we know Yahawah gonna bust in the door with Archangel Michael and the heavenly host and gonna tear it down. That's that crowd too large to count. There were people gathered together from all parts of the world to fight against the man who had came up out of the sea. See, that goes into that. That's how he snatched their crowns. So from all of these nations warned, then what they do, they turn and seen Yahawah and the heavenly host and was like, whoa, we got to go against them. Now let's get this. Let's get this. Peep this.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity.
Now you see the title, it says President Ronald Reagan on alien threat at United Nations. when you get into the United Nations, that's all these nations, the conglomerate together. Okay.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
So you see,
in our obsession with that from outside, our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside.
See, so he said what? Our differences would vanish. So that's going into 2 Esdras 13 when it says what? In verse 5, I looked again and saw a crowd too large to count these nations. They were people gathered together from all parts of the world. You notice he was addressing the United Nations to fight against the man, to fight against Yahawah, who had came up out of the sea. So once Yahawah busts through, all of that's going to vanish, like he said, and then they're going to turn to go to Yahawah. Let's continue on. Verse 6. Then I watched the man carved out a mountain, a high mountain, and fly up on it. So Yahawah was on that father ship, that big chariot. Verse 7, I tried to see the place or the region from which the mountain was carved, but I couldn't, right? Because it was so huge. It was not, because you know they love to say the mothership. No, this is the fathership. The fathership. It ain't no mothership. All right? We going into a patriarchy. We coming up out of this matriarchy. All right? Yahawah is masculine, man. Verse 8, then I saw that all the people who had come together to make war against him were terrified, but they still prepared to fight him. Why? Because Yahawah put that spirit on Esau, Edom, and the rest of these nations to continue to fight. To what? Fulfill prophecy. So he can what? Snatch their crowns and take them out of power. They came into power through war, and they coming out of power through war. It's akin to a bully. A bully have his power through force and through violence. Well, when somebody finally stand up to that bully, it's going to most likely be through violence, by beating the bully down. And then that's when the bully, he goes somewhere else and he don't mess with nobody no more. Well, that's what's going to happen to Esau Edom. When the man saw the great crowd advancing to attack him, he did not take up any weapons. Yahawah ain't worried about Esau Edom. Didn't it say, then that guy said, these beings that look like black men, that look like us brothers, okay, look like me, look like you, coming out of them ships, they had an arrogant look. They was conquerors who looked like they never been conquered. You think Yahawah worried about Esau and the military coming against him? Let's continue on. The only thing I saw was what looked like a stream of fire coming out his mouth. Yeah, them beams out the chariot. He sent a flaming wind from his lips and the storm of sparks from his tongue, the stream of fire and the flaming wind and the great storm combined and swept down on the crowd that was coming to attack him and burned them all up. Done. Finito. That's why it says what? His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, man. You see? He snatched them out just like that. It said what? He came on that white horse, and horse symbolized power. He came on that fathership, and he that sat there upon was called faithful and true. And in righteousness, he doeth judge and make war. If Yahawah is a man of war, and him and the son are one, then Yahawah is a man of war also. See, because he's not coming back as the lamb. He's coming back as that lion, the conquering lion of Judah. Continuing on, in a single moment, that crowd too large to count vanished, done, one hit a quitter. And there was nothing left but powdery ashes and the smell of smoke. I was shocked when I saw what happened. So This is the end game right here. And that's why when you go back a chapter to Revelation 18 in verse 9, it says what? And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, see, all the rest of you heathen nations, as well as Esau, okay, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Right. So America is never going to be inhabited again. Hence why when you get to the most of the UFO sightings, where are they at? Right here. See, Western civilization. Yahawah is coming to conquer Western civilization as well as all of the kings of the earth. He had many crowns. See, Yahawah gonna dominate the whole planet. He's not just gonna dominate here. No, the whole. He gonna take the whole guap, as they say. All right. Yeah, man, I just can't wait. For real. I'm pretty sure you brothers and sisters can't wait. So, I just wanted to bring this out, Lord willing. It was edifying. To the next lesson. Shalom.